Let's talk about how to get an amazing lease deal. Now, as you all know, I make a lot of content around car leasing, and many of you ask me what steps you need to take and what strategies and resources I personally use to land a good deal. And contrary to popular opinion, leasing will most likely save you money if you are switching your cars every 3 to 4 years. But leasing requires us as consumers to do a bit more homework, and it requires us to be able to determine whether or not we are getting a good deal. Now, my hope is that after watching this video, you will learn more about car leasing and you will be better equipped with the knowledge to negotiate an awesome lease deal for yourself. Now, the reason that I love leasing is because I like to change my cars every 3 years, and because I do that, leasing is just a much cheaper option for me than financing or paying for a car in cash. You see, with leasing, I can put little to no money down. My car is always under the manufacturer warranty, so I'm not really worried about repairs. I save money on taxes because I only pay taxes on the depreciation, and I have a lower monthly payment than if I were to finance the same car. So in this video, I'm gonna give you 3 tips and strategies that will help you land an amazing lease deal. Now, before we start, if you could like this video for the algorithm and consider subscribing for more money-saving tips like this, it would be greatly appreciated. The first tip that I have for all of you is to shop the payment, not the car. You see, when it comes to car leasing, you have to be flexible. And what I mean by that is you have to be willing to lease a car that may not have been your first choice. You see, when we lease shop, we are not car shopping. And that's because 2 vehicles with the same $50,000 MSRP could have very different monthly payments and could require very different amounts in terms of money down. And let me tell you guys a very relatable story to really bring this home. So a couple of months ago, I had a friend call me saying that they wanted to lease a Lexus NX 350. I went out and scoured the internet looking for good deals. I called all of the local Lexus dealerships, and the best we could do was $6,000 down at around $800 a month on a car with an MSRP of around $55,000. So not a good deal. Now, my friend really wanted this car and was willing to pay that amount, but I asked them if they would be willing to drive something similar if I were able to get a much better deal on it, and they said yes. So I started doing some homework and some research, and I found an Acura RDX, which is a competitor to the Lexus NX, for about $2,000 due at signing and a monthly payment of around $550. And this car was better equipped, meaning that it had more options. It had a higher MSRP, and it's in the same segment and is a direct competitor to the Lexus. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I mean by shop the payment, not the car. So if your primary choice is a Honda CR-V, then you need to cross-shop it with a Toyota RAV4. If you're looking at a Mercedes-Benz GLE, then you need to cross-shop it with a BMW X5. You see, having this mentality is going to save you serious money, and it's going to help you get an amazing lease deal. My second tip is to try to replicate lease deals that you see on the internet. You see, in today's world, it's so much easier to get a great lease deal than it was 5, 10, or even 15 years ago because of the amount of information that is on the internet. And a lot of people that I know who are shopping for a lease usually start from scratch, but I need you to not do that. What I need you to do is start leveraging websites like leasehacker.com and edmunds.com, where people are literally posting their lease deals for everyone to see and for everyone to replicate. So let me tell you guys another story about how I found my first awesome lease deal. So about 7 or 8 years ago, I was scrolling through Lease Hacker's forum page where people post amazing lease deals, and I saw that people were getting Dodge Charger Hellcats for 0 down and a monthly payment between $600 to $850. Ladies and gentlemen, I had no intention of ever owning or leasing a Dodge Charger Hellcat, but the fact that I could have a $75,000 car that I've always loved for an amazing price was very compelling. So right away, I printed out every single amazing Dodge Charger Hellcat lease deal that I could find, and I studied the selling price that people were getting. I studied the residual value that people were getting. I studied the money factor that people were getting, And I took all of this information and drafted emails to about 6 or 7 different Dodge dealerships in my area. Now, not every Dodge dealer got back to me, and some said that I was crazy, and some said that they weren't able to replicate or match the deal. But lo and behold, the Dodge dealership right by my parents' house said that they would honor the lease deal. So on that day, I signed my very first lease, and I haven't looked back ever since. Now, my message to all of you is to do the same thing. Maybe in your mind, you're looking for a Honda CR-V, but you see people on LeaseHacker getting great deals on Subaru Outbacks. Well, what you need to do is reach out to every single Subaru dealer within a 200-mile radius of you and see if they are willing to give you the same deal. This is a highly effective strategy. It's very efficient, and it will save you a lot of time and a lot of headache. There is no need to reinvent the wheel when someone has already done all of the legwork for you. And this brings me to my third tip, which is stop visiting dealers in person. Use email. So if anyone has ever shopped for a car, you know that going to the dealership can be a very stressful process that usually does not work in your favor. So what I need you to do is never go to a car dealer unless you're test driving a car or unless you're going to sign your final paperwork after you've already negotiated your lease deal. You see, when you negotiate a car deal over email, you get more time to prepare, you get more time to do research, and you don't have to deal with the pressure of an in-person exchange with a car salesman. Another benefit is that you have documented communication with the car dealership or with the car salesman, and this can be very valuable for clarifying terms, clarifying commitments, and it can also come in handy in case of a dispute. You have full written receipts about everything that was said. And when you shop using email, you're essentially able to visit 5, maybe 10 dealerships at the same time and comparison shop. Email allows you to communicate with different dealerships and multiple dealerships simultaneously, and you can get quotes from different dealers without the need for repeated in-person visits. And the biggest reason to negotiate your car lease via email is to avoid face-to-face haggling, which can really be emotionally draining and really make you dislike the car buying or car leasing process. You see, for most people, purchasing or leasing a car is the second biggest purchase that they will ever make after buying a home, and it should be a pleasant experience. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for my car leasing bonus tips, and here they are. My first bonus tip is that you should never, and I mean never, put cash down on a lease if you can avoid it. All you're doing is prepaying for that car. And if you were to get in an accident, let's say 2 weeks or 3 weeks after you leased your car, it would be extremely difficult, or it could be extremely difficult to get that down payment back. My second bonus tip is to negotiate the lease mileage up front rather than pay the excess mileage penalties at the end of the lease. You see, many leases come with 10,000 miles a year. But a lot of people don't know that you can actually negotiate a 12,000 mile a year lease or even a 15,000 mile a year lease up front for a lot less money than paying the excess mileage penalties. And my third bonus tip is to not blindly turn your leased car in before you've determined whether or not you have positive equity in that car. You see, in some cases, your leased car could be worth more than its residual value at the end of the lease term, and that means that you have positive equity in your lease, and you need to realize that equity and put cash back in your pocket, not the dealership's pocket. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching. My name is Ravi Wadden. Financial knowledge is power. Please like and follow for more.